This is a walk at Hokkaido Shrine. Have you ever had this kind of moment? You are somewhere unfamiliar, and suddenly everything feels very still. Not because the world around you has gone quiet, but because something inside you has. I had that moment at Hokkaido Shrine. Sapporo, in many ways, a very modern city. Wide roads, new buildings, chain stores on every corner. Walking through it, you could almost forget you are in Hokkaido, Japan. But tucked right into the heart of the city is a forest. Hokkaido Shrine is nothing like what you might picture when you think of a famous Japanese landmark. It doesn't have the overwhelming crowds. It is quiet, understated, like a person of real depth who doesn't need to announce themselves. The moment I walk in, my feet crunches softly against the gravel path. Crunch, crunch, crunch. That sound slowed me down instantly. After the walk, I was hungry. Just outside the shrine, there's a small stall selling mochi and red bean cakes. I ordered a grilled mochi, red bean filling. While I waited, the air carried the warm scent and something sweetly fragrant drifting from the red bean paste. I was already halfway to happy before the food even arrived. When I finally took a bite, the outside had the faintest crisp char from the grill. Inside, the mochi was so soft and juicy in that way that makes you want to slow down and savor every second before swallowing. The red bean filling was sweet, but gently so, never too much, always just right. I stood there beneath the trees, eating my mochi as a cool breeze passed through. You know, some moments of happiness are just this simple. No grand plans, no big spending, just a quiet place and a version of yourself willing to slow down and actually be there. I often ask myself, why do I travel? Not to check destinations off a list, not to tell others where we are being, not for the likes on the social media. We travel because we need to shift our coordinates, to feel ourselves again from a different angle. That afternoon at Hokkaido Shrine, I didn't do anything remarkable. I walked a path, ate a mochi, looked at some trees, felt the wind. But that stillness, that lightness, I haven't forgotten it. The most precious thing about travel is not where you go, it is who you became while you are there. Life is a series of choices. How you spend your time defines who you are. I have always felt that life is not a single road. It's more like a series of crossroads that keep appearing one after another. At every crossroads, there are different directions you can take. Choose left, and you miss what's on the right. Choose right, and you carry whatever comes with it. No path is perfect, but every path is one you choose for yourself. A lot of people feel that life is unfair. Why do others have what I don't? Why did I work so hard? only to end up somewhere I didn't expect. But if you look closely, where you are right now is actually the sum of every choice you have ever made. Which job you took, who you choose to be with, whether you hit snooze this morning or got up to exercise. Every choice, big or small, carries a consequence that matches it. Some people say the cruelest thing about life is that it never tells you which option is the right one. But I actually think that's what makes life fair. Because every path comes with its losses and its gains. Choose stability and you may trade away some excitement. Choose freedom and you take on a certain amount of uncertainty. Something gained, something lost. That is the rule, and it applies to everyone equally. So instead of asking, why don't I have what they have? Try asking, why did I choose back then? And what did that choice cost me and give me? Answer that honestly, and you will see a lot of things more clearly. I stepped into a small Japanese-style wooden cottage and found myself a seat. The red bean maji arrived warm and the outside lightly crisp from the grill, and the inside soft, chewy in a way that made every bite feel worth slowing down for. The red bean feeling was sweet, but never overwhelming. It was the kind of sweetness that feels just right, not the kind of lingers too long, but the kind that makes you quietly think, yes, exactly this. Alongside it, a cup of hot tea, complimentary, simply there. I held the cup in both hands and looked out through the wooden window. Outside was a park, trees standing tall and full, their leaves swaying gently in the breeze. The air was cool and clean, drifting in softly, carrying with it a kind of lightness. And in that moment, I felt something I can only describe as a quiet contentment. Not the kind of happiness that overwhelms you, the kind that settles in gently, steady, unhurried, needing no explanation. Just a warm cup of tea, a piece of maji, and a window looking out onto the trees. Sometimes that's all it takes. Life is an endless series of choices. You won't get every choice right, but you can pause for just one extra second before each one. You won't be able to do everything perfectly, but you can make the repeated things more efficient and use the time you save on what you truly matters. You cannot have more time, but you can make every scratch of it count for more. Choose your choice and take responsibility for them. Spend your time on the things you won't regret. This is the most honest understanding of life I have arrived at so far. What do you spend most of your time on? The question is really asking, where is the center of your life? Because time doesn't lie. You say you care about your health, but are you actually spending time on sleep and exercise every day? You say family is the most important thing. But when was the last time you sat down and shared a proper meal with them? You say you want to grow, but when did you last seriously commit to learning something new? There's often a wide gap between what we say matters and what we actually do. And time is the most important and honest mirror there is. Who and what you give your time to, that is who you are. Honestly, I absolutely love the crispy mochi cakes here. The outside is tasted to a perfect golden crisp, the kind that makes a satisfying crunch the moment you bite in. And here is what I appreciate most. It is not overly sweet. So many sweets try too hard with that sugar, but this one holds back just enough, landing in that rare, just right place. Inside, there is a layer of soft, chewy mochi paired with red bean filling that is gentle and understated, not sweet at all. Together, the texture layer beautifully with every bite, crisp, then soft, then smooth. It's simple, but it surprised me. Sitting inside that little Japanese wooden cottage, eating slowly, savoring each bite, I felt generally completely at ease. Something about that combination of flavor, warmth, and setting just quietly healed something in me. I end up buying two, and I finished them both faster than I would like to admit. No regrets. We are very used to thinking about how to spend money. Is this worth buying? Is this investment a good one? Is my budget enough this month? But now many of us have ever seriously thought about how to spend our time. Money, when it runs out, can be earned again. Time, when it runs out, is simply gone. Whatever you did today or didn't do, that day will not come back. So I often ask myself, what is my time worth? Where should this next hour go? What deserves my time? And what honestly doesn't need to be done by me at all? Before we spend money, we evaluate. Before we spend time, we should do the same. Start managing your time the way you manage your money. Your life will begin to look different. A large part of our lives is repetition. The things we do every morning, the tasks we handle every week, the financial admin we sort through every month. If you ever find yourself in Hokkaido in Sapporo, walk through Hokkaido Shrine. Make yourself wander slowly through the forest. Breathe in the cool air and take your time.